Sup guys, my name is Kay, and today we're going to be talking about what is considered a fursuit. Is a paper fursuit considered a proper fursuit? Is a Dino mask considered a fursuit? We're going to be discussing today what is considered a fursuit and what is not considered a fursuit. Before we start the video, I just want to make one thing clear. You do not need a fursuit to be a furry. You don't need any sort of mask or Dino mask or any sort of costume at all. You just need to be involved in the furry fandom and be involved with the community. If you want to know ways how you can be involved in the furry fandom without owning any sort of costume, then I recommend clicking this video. This video here explains all of the ways you can be involved in the furry fandom without even owning a costume. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to the video. That sounded so weird, I'm sorry. Now you may think it's obvious. You may think, oh well, the fursuit is obviously a suit, like a full suit of fur that is an animal. And that's a fursuit. And some people think that's the case, but it's really not that simple. Like, if you think a fursuit is a suit full of fur, then what are partial fursuits? Are they even considered fursuits? Because they're not the full suit. That's just the head, paws, and tail. See what I mean? It's not that simple. First off, we're going to be talking about Dino masks. Since 2020, Dino mask fursuits have become incredibly popular, and people have furred them, customized them, and they just look completely different to the original in some cases. But since they became popular, there's been a debate in the furry fandom of, are they considered fursuits or are they considered masks? Some people believe that you have to have a fully furred Dino mask to make it considered a fursuit, and others think that you can just have it painted and as is. And some people believe you can never make them be considered fursuits, no matter what you do. Now, of course, if you buy Dino mask for Target and you don't customize it at all, then I would not consider that a fursuit. I would just consider that a raptor mask. However, if someone has painted it to be their character, I would in fact consider it a fursuit. If you type up on Google what is considered a fursuit, this is what comes up. A fursuit is a custom-made animal costume that represents an original character created by the wearer. So that would mean that as long as a person customized the mask into a character that they have made, then that I consider a fursuit. However, if you're looking through the eyes of someone who wants to buy a fursuit, then it's a completely different story. The reason why fursuit heads cost so much is because the amount of time, effort, and patience it is to make them. The sewing, the hot gluing, the getting the materials, all that stuff. That is why they are so expensive. But if you just get a Dino mask and paint it to a character, sure, making the character may take some time, but it does not take as much effort as it does to make a fursuit head. Foam fursuit head, that is. But in general, I would consider Dino masks to be fursuits. Next, I'm going to be talking about paper fursuits. Now, these fursuits are a little different to regular foam fursuits because they don't have fur. Some Dino mask fursuits have fur, but these paper fursuits don't have fur at all. The fur is made out of paper, and the base is made out of paper, and the eyes are most likely also made out of paper. However, that does not make it any less of a fursuit. Like I said before, a fursuit is a costume of a character that someone made. Doesn't mean it has to have fur, doesn't mean it has to have foam, doesn't mean it has to be made out of any specific material. If you want your fursuit to be made out of paper, you can make it out of paper. It is still considered a fursuit. Next up, we're going to be talking about dog masks and cat masks, and masks that just kind of look like this. These masks are particularly common with Therians, however, just because you have one of these masks does not mean you are a Therian. I own a few types of these masks because, unlike fursuits, they are easy to see and easy to breathe in. But would I consider a fursuit? Unlike the other types of fursuits that I've mentioned, these masks typically don't have a character attached to them. They simply look like a type of animal and people wear them because they look like that type of animal. So in short, no, I would not consider these a fursuit. I would consider them a mask and a type of furry mask, but not a fursuit. Next up, we're going to be talking about pup hoods. These masks are particularly common in the human pup community and the not safe for work side of the internet. I'm not saying that being a human pup is a sexual thing, however, there is a huge sexual part to that community. Now, would I consider them fursuits? Well, like the cat and dog masks that I was talking about earlier, these masks do not have a character attached to them most of the time, so I would not consider them fursuits. Sure, if they added a character to the mask, then sure, it would be considered a fursuit, but the majority of those types of masks are literally just animal masks. So in short, no, I would not consider a pup hood to be a fursuit. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about the most controversial one out of all of these. mascot costumes, particularly sports mascots. Now, I've joked many times in my videos on TikTok about how fursuits and mascot costumes are no different and that they're literally the same thing. But are they really the same thing as fursuits? Well, they've got all the requirements. They are a animal character that was made by someone and made into a costume. That is the definition of a fursuit. And they also look a lot like the typical foam fursuit. So are they considered a fursuit, really? Well, the simple answer is actually no. They are not considered fursuits. Now why? They've got all the requirements, they look like a fursuit, why wouldn't they be considered a fursuit? It is simply because the intent is not furry intent. The mascot costume is not made because the person is a furry. It is made for the team that they're playing for, or the school that they're based off of, or whatever. The person making it isn't thinking, oh, this would be a great thing for the furry fandom. They're thinking, oh, this would be a great mascot thing for my football team. That is why they are not considered fursuits. If the intent is not there to be it furry related, then it is not furry related. I just want to put this out there before I end the video. This is just my opinion. This is not set in stone. People can believe what they want to believe. Don't harass people who believe different to what I believe or what you believe. It is simply just an opinion at the end of the day. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe. And what do you think about this? Do you think Dino masks should be considered fursuits? Do you think paper fursuits should be considered fursuits? And do you think these should be considered fursuits? I personally don't think so, but let me know in the comments. Anyways, I love you all so much. Stay Bucky!